When people hear STEM challenge, they think spaghetti towers. But here's the thing, it's one of the worst activities you can do. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why we tried it once and then never again. But also 3 alternatives that you can try today with materials in your classroom that will put this to shame. I mean, here's the thing, STEM week rolls by and everyone thinks spaghetti and marshmallows. I mean, they're really tasty. But, and please, I say this with so much love, please don't do this. It's not an engineering act. But actually, let me rephrase that. It is an engineering challenge if the challenge was all about precision, dexterity, and the understanding of thermodynamics. But that's not what we wanted to teach the kids. The goal was never precision or side loading or bracing. The goal is 2 things. A wide base means stability, and stability means you can build taller. I better move these out the way before I eat them all. Every single structural building that we've walked into has started by someone thinking, how can we make this stable? Then they start deciding, right, let's make this taller. And you can see this everywhere, wide and heavy at the bottom, narrow and light at the top. That's the thinking we want the kids to practice. So the question is, do these spaghetti towers really teach that? Well, the answer is unfortunately no. Spaghetti towers teach 2 things. Firstly, how temperature changes materials. You see, when we start to touch a marshmallow, it gets very, very soft. And that's thermodynamics. But don't let this word scare you. It's basically the study of how heat moves and what it does to stuff. The thermodynamics of this tea is, I've left it out for too long and it's pretty cold now. I mean, not freezing, but it's not nice. And that's thermodynamics. So when the kid holds onto this marshmallow and starts working with it, it starts to get soft. And their hands make it even more soft. And obviously they need to fiddle with it more to try and push the spaghetti in. And it gets even warmer and more softer. And it's an endless cycle that you're not going to beat unless if you're in a frozen room. And the second thing is carefully being able to poke this spaghetti into this, because one snap and it will break. So this is no longer engineering. This is a fine motor skill test. So even if our kids have these incredible designs, wide bases, loads of triangles, they're still going to lose to the thermodynamics of a marshmallow and the fact that this is just so brittle. And this fundamentally means that it's going to collapse. They're going to get frustrated. And that's nothing to do with their designs. It's to do with the materials that we've given them. And that's exactly when the kid starts to think that they're bad at engineering. When in actual fact, this is just a bad engineering activity. Well, why is everyone doing it? If it was so bad, then why is it still so popular? Well, here's the thing, it's famous. You show anyone this, they're gonna know it's the STEM challenge. They're gonna know it's the STEM spaghetti challenge, right? It's so famous. It's so cheap. Most of the stuff we've got in our cupboards. It's super simple to understand. You just poke the spaghetti in and build upwards. There's no front loading of information. It's so simple. And lastly, it just photographs so well. I mean, if I was to build this up here, put this on our website, oh my God, this guy, he knows STEM. But here's the thing. Our job is to run an activity that reliably teaches a thing. Unfortunately, this doesn't. So let's draw a line in the sand and forget about these. I'm gonna carry on eating them very slowly. Okay, so let's talk about 3 alternatives that absolutely put this to shame. Okay, firstly, lollipop sticks, tape, and colored card. I mean the materials aren't gonna break. You cannot break. I mean, you probably can, but these lollipop sticks, really difficult to break. The tape, a really good adhesive. It doesn't get warm or malleable when we start working with it. These are great materials, and they're just as cheap as the spaghetti and marshmallows. And really, the only tip that you really need to give them is making them use these. And you might be wondering, what is this? Well, it's simply to connect a vertical piece to a horizontal piece. You can see right here, and literally that's all you need to give the kids. A few of these, and away they go. And here's the thing, because success is genuinely possible, the motivation in the classroom is going to be so high, and they're going to see their peers building. Everyone's going to have a slightly different design. Some might have a wider base here. Some might build all the way up like a teepee. There's so many different solutions to this, and it's just so much better. And what I really like about this one is it's how real engineering works. You design something, you build it, it fails. It completely fails. And then you figure out what went wrong, and you redesign, you rebuild. And this cycle of build, test, improve, that's not a classroom exercise. That's how bridges get built. Okay, so the next one is taking the same tall tower challenge, but stripping the materials right down. Paper and tape. The challenge is to build a tower that stands for at least 10 seconds. What they'll figure out so quickly is rolled tubes are tremendously stronger than flat ones. What they'll understand is folding our piece of paper gives it rigidity. And this is all just the purest forms of engineering. Understanding which shapes work best and why. And you can scale this for difficulty so easily. For the older kids, maybe they're only allowed 10 or 12 sheets of paper and 1 roll of tape. For the younger ones, they're allowed unlimited resources. They only have to hold it for 5 seconds. The difficulty is much more scalable. And the reason I like this one so much is because engineers face this all the time. Limited time Limited money, but the client demands the world. Honestly, if you give a child 10 sheets of paper and one roller tape, say that's all you're getting, now build a tower in less than 50 minutes, that's an actual engineering brief. Honestly, that is really, really difficult. And the last one is the Cantilever challenge. This one takes the same kind of tall tower approach, but puts it horizontally. The idea here is to build a structure that extends as far out as possible from the table without, of course, falling. And again, it's the same cheap materials. We've got Lollipop sticks and we've got some tape. We've got some colored card if they really want to use some. This one is all about balance and counterweight. And the reason I like this one is because there's a very, very fine line between it falling and it being stable. And the children can tweak this so perfectly to get that biggest cantilever. And the thing is, children have seen cantilevers everywhere. Balconies, cranes, diving boards, airport terminal roofs. Every single one of those had the same problem an engineer had to solve. How can I extend this as far as possible before it tips? So there's your three, and notice something, none of this requires specialist equipment. And don't get me wrong, massive budgets, they absolutely help. They can show STEM in ways that kids have never seen. But the easiest way to make STEM stick for a kid is by making it relevant. But here's the thing, relevance doesn't come from expensive kit. Relevance comes from making a challenge that actually makes sense to a kid. Listen, if you want your STEM workshops to feel like actual engineering, skip the Olympic spaghetti craziness. The tall tower and cantilever workshops with classroom materials is the real way to get the kids excited. And as simple as they seem, they're not just classroom activities. These are simplified versions of problems that engineers actually face on a day-to-day basis. It's just that we're using different materials. And here's the thing I'd like to finish with. AI is doing even more to get our kids glued to their screens. So these hands-on classroom experiences, they matter more than ever. Kids are absolutely craving this, and you're best positioned to teach it. So let's make sure the activity is worth their time. I'll see you in the next one.